Fala comigo, bebê.
Fala comigo, bebê. Já tá on?
Chora, cachorro.
Chora. Cachorro mordido de cobra tem medo de barbante.
And we are back!
And we're back!
Mara, you can do it.
And we're back!
Yeah, Setcast.
Welcome to Setcast, the podcast where you're gonna hear some shit and you're gonna hear some important things. And today we have this amazing woman. Thank you very much for coming, Bia Bellotto. She is, she's a tax woman. So she works basically with companies, but sometimes with people.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming today. You have two companies, yeah?
Yes. So actually, I have one limited company, but this limited has two consulting companies. One is related to taxes, so simply as tax, and the other one is related to Italian citizenships.
Oh, wow.
So,
cool. Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have this company for the last 10 years. It's Fatto Per Voi. And we didn't have a name. We just decided the name maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And
Fatto Per Voi is made for you.
Yeah. Made for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can have not only Italian citizenships, but also I help with Portuguese, Polish, and some other related issues that you might have related to citizenship. So if you need a birth certificate, if you need to have your process done for any other kind of citizenship, but you know how is the process. So yeah.
Cool.
So, and you can see Mara's face like, oh, I just prepared the questions for the tax thingy.
I'm screwed, man. I'm screwed. I have no questions anymore. That's it. Okay, thanks. Bye. Come back.
Come back.
No, we can come up with some questions for very sure. Yeah.
We also have questions for that. Yeah.
Nice. It's good.
Yeah. It's always like a question, like, because sometimes people, like, I can take my family as an example. I told them that it was possible to get the citizenship. We are in an ongoing process now, but they never realized that up until the moment things were really happening. And that happens everywhere to any family. So you start talking to cousins that you haven't talked for like a few years, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of magic. It brings families together. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a family that we finished their process and we kick off the process in Italy on 28th of December. We have a process with 12 people over 18 and they have a few kids. But the interesting is it's not, they're not small family. They're a really huge family. So it's like 6 different, not branches, but families, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the cousin, it's
way more work.
It's way more work. Wow. Yeah, it was around 300 paper sheets by the end.
It's like a small town in Italy, like
it's like a small town.
like familia.
They came from a small town.
But like when I was in Italy for a while, for 3 months, doing my process for citizenship, and my husband used to say that is like Vila do Chaves.
Oh yeah,
because it's too tiny. They have 2,000 people.
It's too cute.
No, it's Vila do Chaves.
Oh, it is
totally.
Cute.
They don't have they have the church, the pizzeria, the comune.
The same bar, one bar in the city.
The pizzeria is the bar.
Oh, is this? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And do you? I don't. Of course, we don't remember, but. Do you have Feira Livre, so the small markets in your town?
The flea market.
The flea market, like that, They still have that. So you don't have clothes store. There is a van that parks there twice a week.
Ah, it's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute way.
I bought clothes like that once in Puglia. There was a guy, hey kid, would you like some clothes? And he opened the trunk.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was okay, but then I found out it was all Chinese. I mean,
Oh,
it's like they don't
it
produce
wasn't.
anymore.
It didn't come from Puglia.
No. But yeah.
So Bia, you currently work. You prefer to work with companies as opposed to people. That's what you do the most. What kind of companies do you normally work with? We were having a chat before and you said mostly it's Brazilians, but then you also work with companies from non-Brazilians. And is it small companies, big companies? It doesn't matter to you?
Yeah, so for me, it doesn't matter. Of course, I don't have much experience with big companies, so I prefer start with small companies. Usually, I have some solo traders that along the way, they become limited companies, or they have to, for any reason, they have to become a limited company. So then I want to grow with them and we grow together.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So yeah, we have limited. It makes sense. It doesn't, like some people say, why don't you go only for limited? That would be amazing. But even though I'm an accountant, I don't have a background from practice, because here in Ireland you have separate fields, same in Brazil. You can work in an office, like an accounting office, or you can work with accounting in a big company. I came from multinational companies. I used to work in pharma, so for me it's a completely different world. And why I became an accountant, was like a practice accountant, was, as I mentioned, I have my company and I tried to find an accountant for myself. I couldn't. So I reached out to Brazilians and they didn't treat me very well.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, it was 2017. Yeah. And after that, I was really pissed off because I said, like, I'm studying for accounting here.
Yeah.
Why I cannot do that? So I had someone in my company, Joe's, he's my mentor. And I came to him and said, listen, can you please help me with that? Can you explain me rules and how can I do this? He said, yeah, I can. So since that it was 2017, he's teaching me this. So I learned with my own company and also with the Italian citizenship company. Some of my clients, they were Deliveroo's and this kind of thing. So they came,
traders.
You are an accountant. Can you help me? Yeah. So it was something that happened in my life gradually. The same thing that happened with Italian citizenships, that I didn't want to work. But every time I say I'm not working with that anymore, I just receive a call and say, I need to have my process with you. And just like, sugar.
But how convenient is that? Like, because as far as I imagine, there are people here, they want to stay over, to live longer and to make family, make roots here. And you come up with the citizenship, so you make them be able to stay here.
Yeah.
While you can take care of their accountancy because maybe they have companies in their home country. How does that work for you and for your company?
Okay. Actually, if they have a company here, I can handle. If they have a company outside, no. And also for Brazilian nations, I strongly recommend them to not have a company in Brazil and here because they're resident here. And I don't want to go over this like deep dive because I think you have to reach out an accountant in Brazil and I'm not. I'm an economist in Brazil, so I cannot give advice on that. But here I can help them. So if you have a small business, I have a client, I have this example a lot, Giovanni and Azucena. So Giovanni was my client with Italian Citizenships. Then he became my client with Deliveroo. Now he's working in his field. He's an engineer. But then she decided to go to finish her PIYE job and started her own social media job. So he was my client and now she's my client, you know, so it's all in family. And sometimes I have clients, they got married. And in Italy, you have to register your marriage with your city, so with the comune, with Naire, and then you have to register also your kids. So everything must be registered in Italy. So they sometimes reach me out and say, Bia, I can't, or I don't know how to do, and I can do. So it's something that is not only, okay, I did a process and that's it. Sometimes they come to me, oh, can you help me with a translation? And I have a contact, so I can help them with that. I didn't imagine that was linked, But after some time in Ireland, I understand that's 100% linked.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
For us Brazilians, like one thing leads to
Yeah.
another.
Yes.
It's just like baby steps and then
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing. I start with the small ones. They become limited companies. I start like helping them to grow the process. And let's see what I can do in the future, because I have a few plans to put some
Nice.
other kind of services into my umbrella. So
Okay, so which services do you currently offer?
I currently offer a setup of a limited company or a solo trader. We can register a name. For example, I trade with different names than my limited company. So you must have this name registered. I can register with revenue as well, not the name, but your company. And we have monthly packages in case you need some help, like monthly, if you're a solo trader. Not all the solo traders, actually, a solo trader doesn't need an accountant, but it's advisable to have an accountant. Why?
Oh, really?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
because I mean, like, I am a lazy sole trader in
Yeah.
this part. I don't like accountancy because I don't want to mess up with it.
Okay.
That's it. I'm afraid of messing it up.
If you don't
and I
see
don't
it,
have
it's
time
not
to-
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't do your blood test, you're not going to know you have HIV. Oh my God.
So basically, I have a question because this is a personal experience I had.
Okay.
I had an accountant, and after a while, I just realized that I had to change the accountant because I wasn't getting any feedback. And then after a while, she was unreachable.
Okay.
And I had to find another accountant. She was this other accountant. She's Irish. So in my mind, I was like, okay, so I'm not taking Brazilian accountants anymore because I'm seeing so many cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many cases. Yeah. And after that, I just realized, okay, so she has to take over, and I had to pay like the previous taxes
Yes.
because of my previous accountant. And that made me wonder, we had this talk already before, what's the responsibility of the accountant, of the accountancy services, and what's the responsibility of the client? Because like I wasn't instructed what I should do and what the accountant should do. And what's what?
Okay, it all depends on the service that you hire. For example, I have some clients that they hire me only to fill up a Form 11. That's it. But now I don't fill up a Form 11 without seeing all the numbers, without checking all the numbers. This call accounts. So some of my clients, they got angry
Yeah.
because they said, oh, you said that you're going to charge me. I don't know. It's not my price, but just to
Whatever,
explain.
yeah.
I'm going to charge you 100 for the Form 11, but now you're charging me 300 for the accounts. Just like, yeah, because they're two separate services and they don't understand. Or other clients came to me and say, you're going to charge me this for a Form 11? It's just a form. Come on, guys. I study 8 years for that. Keep studying. I have to do this CPD all the time. So you're not paying for the service. If you're not happy, hire another person. Like,
Or do it yourself.
do yourself. I don't discuss because there's some people that they charge you 50, some people will charge you 400, and that's fine. You choose. I'm not obliging you to become my client. You know what I mean? So it depends on the services. I had a client, and this makes me very sad because I really like this lady. I still like. She hired me for 6 months. I was doing her accounts. But there are a few months that she didn't provide me information. So I couldn't finish her accounts. In January, she decided to leave my company, and that's fine. It was very friendly. I sent an email to her, but I know she's a struggle with information. She doesn't understand, but I put everything in written. Listen, I'm not doing your Form 11. Your accounts is not 100% because I haven't received this, and that. After 6 months, her new accountant reached me out. And he started, oh, you need to deliver me this because she said you have. And I said, listen, I don't have. Here is the email. And then the client start calling me and say, I just moved accountant because you said that was everything ready. I say, yes, I did your VAT returns. I didn't advise you in this, and that. But in my email, you can see that I'm not filling your Form 11. I'm not finishing your accounts because you didn't stay the year with me. So there is a contract. I don't know about your accountant, but with all my clients, I have a contract. With the ones that I don't have, I'm processing a contract.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to. So when you hire my services, before I issue an invoice, before anything, you have my contract. So this is what I'm doing. If you're happy, that's fine. If you're not happy, okay.
Let's not do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there, as I mentioned, you can do the service. We can have the monthly follow-up. So sometimes people hire me for the Form 11 and the DEXT, which is the system. I have the DEXT. I check all of the numbers, so I'm comfortable with the numbers and I can submit. No questions asked. When I say this is, you're not asking me loads of questions along the way, along the year. Okay, you can ask me when we are doing things and, I have this doubt, and that's fine. When you have a monthly plan with me, you can ask questions. And I have someone, an account manager, that will be helping you.
Yeah,
so I don't know if I can use this expense or not, because every business is different. For example, I have a musician. This guy can have Spotify, and this is a deductible expense. But me as an accountant, I cannot put my Spotify. You know what I mean? Another thing is like wages. Wages for solo traders, they are non-deductible if the wages is for the solo trader. But if they have a PAYE, is deductible. Whereas when you have a limited company, you can use your own wages to deduct as expense. So there are some small tricks that you need to have an accountant to know that, because some of my clients say, that's good. I don't have a profit. I say, yes, you have a profit. You have a salary.
Yeah.
No, but this is my salary, but you're a solo trader.
Trick, yeah.
Yeah.
Little bastards.
So it's you have to also to always discuss with your accountant what you're buying. If you're buying bookkeeping or not, if they're gonna do your Form 11s, for example. Usually in my standard pack, I have for limiteds 2 directors. I can fill up 2 forms, but I have some limited companies that I have 4 directors. You can pay later on, or we can include in the plan, and it's an add-on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's interesting because we can build. It's not something else.
You can tailor for the needs, the customer's needs. Yeah.
It's tailor-made.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I mean, like, you don't want to have the sheriff talking to you, you know. No, you want to avoid the sheriff. Right?
Yeah, what's the story? What's the story about a sheriff here?
It's simple, Mara. It's really, if you don't pay your taxes, the sheriff comes after you. Like, look, where's me money?
Where's
Where's my money?
Where's my money?
It's like that. You are self-assessed in Ireland, so you must comply with all your obligations. In case you are not paying, you have to discuss this with revenue, and it's up their discretion to give you some time or not.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But there are a few things that you can do for avoiding this kind of situation. For example, send my inquires message and say, hi, I'm having a struggle to pay. Can we do an informal agreement?
But that's crazy that someone actually knocks your door and comes in and takes your shit.
No, but they warn you before.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like that.
Okay.
I can tell you how it works.
They warn you, and then you go
Yeah.
and talk to your what's it?
You can go to
right?
my inquires and start talking with them. As soon as you know that you have to pay something.
Yeah.
Or you can do a PPA, which is a phased payment agreement, if I recall this
that's
well.
the deal. Yeah, it's really
that's
good,
what you did.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like they were asking for
Crazy.
1,000 euro and then 2,000 euro, like after 1 week because of the previous year.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I was afraid of going for Brazilian accountants. But then, like we are talking right now, and we can see that
Some people know what they're doing.
Know what they're doing. You know your shit, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they give you a letter and then a phone number. You call them. You let them know, look, I cannot pay this full amount, and they negotiate. I mean, it's like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Yeah.
You gotta build a relationship and let them know, look, I'm struggling.
It's a
this and that.
toxic relationship because
It was
you
me
can't
money.
leave the country, you can't leave the stuff, and the country needs you as well. It's kind of dependent.
But I have
mean,
some clients that they're living in Brazil right now and they have PPA and they're paying PPA from there.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because if you don't have this here, you cannot get a tax clearance in Ireland. Therefore, if you want to move to Portugal, Italy, wherever, you cannot go there without the tax
So that's
clearance.
why it's a toxic relationship, because you can't go and then they can't, and they need you to be here. So very toxic.
Yeah, you have to be good.
See?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you have to keep on talking to them and letting them know like your possibilities and showing them, look, I want to sort this out. I'm here.
Yeah, but do you know what? I have when I started my company, I did 2 consultations for free. And I realized that I couldn't do consultations for free. Otherwise, I wouldn't get any money. Yeah. And I'm sharing my knowledge. So I start charging for them. And this is one of the filters that I have. Because I'm not charging because I want to get your money. I'm educating you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're going to stay with me, that's fine. Because you know how I work. And I give you a lesson.
Yeah.
It's a class. Come to me. I'm going to explain you everything. So you are a solo trader. I'm going to explain you all your obligations. I'm going to explain you for preliminary tax. I'm going to explain you everything. You cannot come to me later and say, oh, you didn't told me that, because I know I did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's some things that I share with my clients after the consultation. And this is important because you have now the knowledge, and you can decide that if you want to stay with me or go for another accountant or do yourself.
All transparent. All good,
Yeah, you can do on your own. That's fine. Yeah. I cannot come to you and say, okay, open the Form 11 and do this. I'm not explaining you how to do it because this is my job. But I can give you some indication. Okay, you need tax credits. So get your information for this, and that. You have a business. Do you have your insurance? I can help you with that. And this is important. And also it's a time for us to know each other,
of course,
and to decide that if I want to stay with you or not. For example, there was a client that comes to me and I say, I don't want to pay anything. I don't want to pay taxes. And I say, okay, yeah, I have clients that came to me like that. They are not clients, of course.
Of course.
Anarchia!
No, they're not clients at all.
Anarchists. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin.
I had a client. She's big. She's not a client. She's a friend. And I didn't take her in because I told her, you must be in a limited company. You have 6 bank accounts. This is very, very dodgy.
Yeah.
I don't comply with this. And that she said, I'm not putting my money and send to revenue because they're paying for the drugs. You know what I mean?
Well, they do, but
yeah, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing my part.
I know.
And then I say, okay, you pay me the consultation and that's fine. Go for your accountant. That's it. No questions asked.
Easy peasy, yeah.
It's your problem. It's not mine. I know I'm paying my taxes and I pay a lot and I don't like, but I have to. It's just, of course, there are ways to pay less taxes, but
that's something
the
because
correct way.
Yeah, you have to be smart and do the right things. Use the VAT registered for I don't know, to buy equipment, acquire equipment, things like that.
If they are related to your business, yes.
Yeah, so I mean there are ways.
Yeah.
And I see this country, correct me if I'm wrong, but I see it as a flexible place. You can get started, you have an idea, you can kick off, and it's easy to sort it out. You just have to pay things, that's all.
Yeah, money moves it.
That's it. I mean, fair enough.
But that's worldwide.
And for us Brazilians, we come from Brazil with a different mindset, and everything is in our personal side. Oh, you're attacking me and this and that. But no, look, professional has to work, and the professional studied for a long time to be there, and nothing's for free. And you should be happy that you are healthy enough to make money to pay your things. I mean, we don't have to hunt anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to use money to pay for things. That's all.
That's true. That's true. I'm dying to know which are the most common mistakes when there is, let's say, a sole trader that started it on their own and they go to you. And I'm sure there are fucked up things.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What are the most common ones?
They don't have two bank accounts. They don't have a
two.
separate bank account. No,
Oh,
they
it's
think
so
that
fun.
the business cash is their own cash as well.
Yeah, there's no need for reinvestment or depreciation of the equipment. Nothing like that.
No.
Yeah. No
They
fuel
don't
needed.
understand that.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, personally, if it's not over 1,000 euros, I don't do a depreciation. I just put as an expense because it makes no sense for me to get, okay, this costs like 300 euro. I'm going to depreciate this in straight line, 8 years. No, it's 300 euros. Expense. That's it. But you have a camera. Oh, this camera is like 3,000 euros. Okay. So let's check the lifetime and then we can do the depreciation. This will help you. Sometimes people, they take loans and they don't let me know because a loan is different. A loan is not an expense. The loan, I'm going to portion only the interest.
Yeah, of
The
course,
other
'cause it
part is
takes-
the cash. Yeah, it's balance sheet. So it's different. It's cash flow. So this is one those some mistakes that they have. The other thing is, I'm taking cash for myself because it's my salary, and now I have like profit zero.
Happens all the time.
What I say to my clients is have two bank accounts. It's easy. You have your personal bank account and you have your business.
Yeah.
Whenever you get paid, you're gonna say, okay, I want you to transfer cash for me like twice a month. That's fine. You just transfer like 1,500. I don't know. You decided. And then I know that this is your salary and then the other part will be in the company. So it's clear for me what you're doing. The other thing is they don't keep the receipts. Other thing is about VAT. VAT is the most tricky one because people think they know everything about VAT. No one knows. And I'm studying VAT a lot.
Not even the accountants know.
No, I don't
It's a
know.
gray area.
That's very good to hear. Huh? That's very nice. Very.
Yeah.
It makes me very, very tranquila.
Tranquil.
Relaxed.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
I had.
Tranquil.
I'm doing the Irish Tax Institute diploma in taxes. I'm redoing because I need to do another assignment from them, which I didn't pass.
Well, probably very tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough. But anyway, I had a 8 hours class to discuss VAT, and we didn't finish.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So I have an Irish group. We have like 50 accountants. So we exchange knowledge, and this is very important.
That's nice.
Yeah. We also have one for Brazilians as well.
Okay.
We're just 5, but
Get in there. That's how it starts.
no, but they are Brazilians in practice. It's different.
Yeah.
It's not like the accountants. It's just the Brazilian in practice. So
I gotta get started somehow. Yeah.
no, we most know each other. So one of the biggest accountants, like Brazilian accountants here, who is from Ba is the barbecue.
33?
Yeah, Ba 33 and other big companies.
Bacioni ricevi.
So Diogo is the accountant, and I met Diogo in 2016, and he wasn't an accountant by that time. So me, myself, Elaine, one of my best friends, and another lady, Camila, we start like annoying him, like you can do it. So he became
Nice.
You can do it. Yeah, so it was fun. It was very fun. And we met like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, I remember you. I don't know where. And say, I'm Camila's friend, and say, I know now. You were annoying me to become an accountant.
And it worked.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, I'm so glad. So we always discuss if we have a situation with a client or if we don't know everything. So we have a doubt of something.
Yeah.
We have a group, so you can go there and send a message
Yeah.
and see
That's
what
really
you're...
important.
Very.
Yeah, like remember my wife having problems with the dentist, and she had to go to the dentist, and they couldn't find the case and the calls, whatever. And this dentist he is connected to all of the important dentists here. He's Italian, and usually the guys come to him to
Network.
ask things away, and it's pretty important, I think, because imagine that you alone can't solve as fast as you having many other people who probably one of them probably face the same situation, the same challenge, and they're gonna just shortcut it for you.
Exactly.
It's really important.
I have a case last year where I met an Irish accountant, and he wants to join forces with me. So he wants to buy my business and something. It didn't work out, but because he wasn't being fair with me, but we became friends.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I need a contact. Oh, do you have a solicitor number he gave me? Do you have this? You know how I can do that? So he's always giving me some advice. It's good. It's good to have people to help you out.
Oh yeah, especially accountants, because I mean, like, it's a tricky area for me. Like I always was, since from Brazil, back in Brazil, my cousin, she was my accountant. So yeah, I was really lazy about it because she would take care of everything, you know. And then I came to Ireland and things were completely different. When is the moment you have to find an accountant? Like, is the moment you get your first euro in your account, or let's say you got started just to see how it happens, like selling your products for friends, and then, oh, this could be a potential business.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Because we never know when to start paying our taxes and getting registered.
I have a good case for that.
Okay.
There is a lady that she used to sewing a lot. And she never like declared because she didn't have the knowledge, and it was her side business. So it was something like she wasn't getting too much money. And then she booked a consultation with me. I think the important thing is you understand what you have to do. What are your what are the taxes you're paying? Okay, because sometimes you have a PAYE job that pay you 60K. And then you start your side hustle. And then, you're making 4K a year. You have to declare. You don't need an accountant, but you have to declare. It's cash. You receive it. Some people say, but I received the cash in hand. It's cash. You receive it. If you go to Brazil, you see that there is a topic in your income tax that say cash and the free translation, cash in the power of the owner. So cash in hand, how much you received, how much you have, and you have to declare. I have 10,000 reais in cash in hand. So you need to declare this to revenue in Brazil. Why you're not declaring here?
Yeah.
But how do you control it? Because how can you see?
I have to trust
cash is king, you know?
I have to trust my client.
Yeah.
So I cannot put a gun in your head and say, you have to declare. I cannot be in his business all the time because I don't know how many clients, you know, but I need to advise them the best practice. I declare when I receive in cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the correct thing to be done.
Yeah. And I think Ireland gave you so much opportunity here, and you don't have violence the same way you have in Brazil. You have so many things apart from health, healthcare, and
health and weather.
I love the weather. So
the rain,
I really don't care.
I do.
What about
By the rain, I do. And the food is not that
Wow,
awesome.
you can get
guys.
You can get any kind of food you want. That's true.
No, but the thing is, I was thinking to myself one of these days, like, what if Italy didn't have good food? What if Italy had shite food? Would Italy be the same?
No. You may lose your citizenship because of that, you know.
I'm planning on have some pizza later on with some ketchup on it.
Don't put ketchup on that. No.
And mayo.
Don't break your pasta.
No, basta.
No, bastardi. No. But just to conclude what you asked me, when is the right time? It depends on you. it always depends on you. There are some people that they have like 5,000, 10,000 euros and they need an advice after that. There are some people that they come to you in October following year asking for an advice, and some people that they come 2 years before and ask for an advice. So the sewing lady, for example, she came to me 1 year ago. She came last year again for another consultation, and then she opened her solo trader.
Okay.
So
everything by the book.
yeah, she's doing
That's
everything by the
nice.
book. Very nice. Yeah.
Hello.
So I think this is a way to tell people that some accountants, they have a dodgy reputation, and I don't want to be that accountant. You
And
know?
that's good. Very good to not have it.
Yeah.
To have the reputation that you're actually the one that is not gonna take it.
Yeah.
Because you do it by the book, which is great.
And I really don't mind if they want another accountant. That's fine. I think there are loads of accountants here.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna help you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Of any kind.
Of any kind. The dodgy ones,
Yeah.
the nice ones,
Yeah.
the straight ones. So choose one.
Who are you? I think the nice one. I'd say like
I'm the nice one.
She's the
Yeah.
nice one. She's the
She's the
correct
nice one.
one.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
the
yeah.
nice one.
I'm the
of course.
crazy one from one side, because I don't I'm not afraid of losing a client to tell them the truth. So all the time I say, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You may don't like it, but that's the truth.
But isn't that supposed to be exactly like that? Like you are gonna tell
It
people
is,
what
yeah.
you offer. You have to say, "This is what I offer." If that's what they're looking for, awesome. If that's what not they're looking for, they're gonna go somewhere
But some people, they pretend because they want someone to do the job for them, and at the end of the
else. Job.
yeah,
we call it in Brazil jeitinho.
Jeitinho, exactly.
Jeitinho is
in the
terrible.
middle of the road, you find out that they are not nice. For example, I had a client. She was with another accountant, and she wants to do everything correct, but she was doing wrong, and she knew, and she wants to correct. And the other accountant wasn't helping her.
Okay, she was doing the jeitinho, unsolicited jeitinho.
Yeah, unsolicited jeitinho.
Yeah.
So
Without
she came to
consent.
me.
Yeah.
She came to me and say, "Oh, but I don't." I say, "Listen, you need to sort this out because you have a problem with revenue now. So I'm gonna help you, but you have to stick with me."
Yeah.
And I just say, "I don't like that lady from revenue, the VAT lady." I say, "What's her name?" She say, "Yes." I say, "She's my friend. Don't talk about her."
Don't talk shit about my friend.
That this is insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you do have a network for your clients.
Yes.
How does it
Yeah.
work?
So I have have clients all over Ireland. I have clients in Roscommon, in Cork, in Galway, and I have some in Cork. He's an IT consultant, and we're discussing. He was the first limited I brought in, and we're discussing about his business. And then I say, "Oh, I just got a few clients in Cork now. I have I think it's a static clinic, and I have another guy who's a martelinho de ouro, so it's kind of validating." And he said, "Oh, I need one for myself." I say, "Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna give you his contact." So every time I have a client that I can exchange the contacts, for example, another client here, he has a gym and he wants to do some refurbished. And I say, "Okay, I have some handymans, and I can provide you the number because I need an invoice.
Of course.
You're gonna do a cash in hand, you're gonna pay less, and I understand. I don't agree. So you take this cash out of your limited company." How can I explain that?
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
of course.
So it's good because the clients start having this connection. And also, like, we went to Brazilian Showcase in 2022, and I got some sweets. It wasn't my client. It was Diogo's client, but she's my friend, Carol from Make It Happen. And she has
Oh,
Make it
the
happen,
sweets
yeah.
are delicious.
Yeah, Carol is amazing.
Yeah.
And I got some carrot cake. My assistant, she got the carrot cake, and after a month, she ordered a cake for her son. So
Of course you would.
yeah,
It's
you
delicious.
can't.
Come
So
on, you're silly.
I want to
That's
order a cake
amazing.
now.
you can order from her, or you can order from Mandy's.
Okay.
Because Mandy's just opened a big store in
Oh, there are
Dorset
so
Street.
many
That's true,
nice
yeah.
shops for.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good, yeah. Sugar, yummy.
New Year's resolution:
Yeah, no sugar.
Which one?
more cakes.
More cakes,
Yeah.
more cakes. Woke up.
So I like to stimulate that with my clients. So sometimes I just ask them, do you need something?
Yeah.
What do you need? They say, oh, I'm looking for this. So even
Just say maybe sometimes people are a little lost with what they would like to maybe do, or sometimes they have to do something and they don't really know the best way of doing it, and maybe you can assist them.
Mara,
Yes.
can I correct you?
Yes.
I cannot say
Of course you can correct
they
me.
do it, but we do it because we are in this situation. Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking
We're running a
specific.
business
Yeah.
here. Eventually, this is gonna start making some profit.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
That's the plan. I have other
Yeah.
3 podcasts already. So
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're experienced.
yeah, I have experience on this field.
Yeah, with crazy people.
Yeah.
How deal with crazy people.
Yeah, we are probably gonna be crazy clients. So
I know.
you're fine with that, yeah?
I can deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah. You like stand-up comedy?
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, stand-up comedy, no.
No, it's me neither. But I
You
like to
don't
say
like
bullshit.
it.
I like, but just no.
And talking about the limited companies, you have worked more with solo traders, but you do work with limited companies. And I am kind of curious to understand what might have been the biggest challenges that you might have had with limited, maybe when you were starting, or maybe something that actually happened and got you shocked for a moment, or something that, or maybe not even with limited, but maybe a tough client, someone that you would consider tricky.
Yeah.
Not someone,
Okay.
but a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a client that used to receive around 10K per month cash in hand. And he wants to make everything legalized.
10K cash in
Yeah,
hand.
I don't want to discuss this.
No, don't.
But
I don't wanna know.
he
Oh,
was
come on, I was curious.
no, he was a genius. That's what I can
Wow.
say. But he reached me out and said, I want to open my limited company. I want to do everything by the book. And he was really willing to. But the problem is he wants so much to help me that he was interfering in my job. So he wasn't doing all the invoices at the time. He wasn't providing us all the how can I say that, the bank statements on the time, and once we have that, when they're trying to match them and do the reconciliation, we're not able because there's so many things, and I have to come to him all the time. And by the end, we started in November, but then in June, I sit with him. I say, listen, I cannot deal with this anymore. You have to help me. And then we...
Me ajuda a te ajudar.
Exactly. That was the
Faz
thing.
me rir.
And I really like him. He was nice. And I could see that he wasn't trying to hide anything. But it was really, really complicated because he was busy. I don't think he understand that he might have to hire someone to help him with that. And sometimes what happens is the entrepreneur, they think they can do everything on their own. And from my experience, you just grow once you have more people with you. So currently I have someone taking care of my marketing. I have 3 account managers. I have 2 assistants.
You need to start giving something for people, because if you
Yes.
keep it for yourself, you're fucked.
Exactly.
You can't do
but people
it.
don't understand that. And they said, no, but I'm
Or
not
maybe
getting...
they don't know, like, because this is leadership as well. Like,
It
you have to
is,
assign
yeah.
things to people, you have to train people, you have
Yes.
to educate them.
I used to say that I don't want to use my example because I'm a good example, but people don't have the same way of working as I
use the
have.
fucked up ones.
Let's be more realistic here.
Yeah. No, it's just because when you give me something, it doesn't matter what you're giving me, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I'm gonna make it done. If I agree with you that I'm gonna do. So I remember, for example, Rodrigo, when he reached me out for his limited company, it was the first limited I got. And he came to me and he was working in an accounting firm, but he didn't want this company. He wants another company. And I told him, listen.
Can you imagine not trust the company you work for?
Exactly. No,
I'm
he
kidding.
trusts.
I'm kidding.
Never happens, right?
No, it's a
Never
joke.
happens.
It's complicated. Never.
That's very rare.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
But anyway, he reached me out. He became my client, and he told me that he hired me not because I had the experience, because I didn't, but I was honest, and he could feel that I'm gonna do my job properly.
Yeah.
And I did. So I did 2 B1 returns for him. It wasn't the first, which has nothing. I did the full B1s, and I understand the process for the limited company. So it was very important for me. Okay. This was a huge challenge, but the good thing is people trust me because they know that I'm gonna get this done.
Yeah.
And I have the ladies working with me, and I'm training them because I want them to be so good that everyone wants to hire them, but they're so happy with me that they don't want to leave. I'm not a very nice boss.
Yeah.
I'm angry. Yeah, but no. People call me in the bank.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm tough.
Maybe
but
they like to be spunked. I don't know.
yeah.
Come on, you work with numbers. You gotta be tough because
I tell them to my clients. Of course, I talk to people, but
it's gotta be exact.
I prefer the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't prefer people.
Yeah.
So I
Numbers
hire.
never lie.
Yeah, numbers never lie.
never
People
lie.
lie.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm saying, I'm trying to be nice, and sometimes the client doesn't understand that. But I need to be realistic with them.
That's something because to me, talking about accountancy and this
Yeah.
and that, it's boring. Especially if you don't know anything about anything. Because I mean, I think it's in any subject in life. If you didn't learn enough to like it,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like it. How do you make this more, I don't know, like
Tasty.
tasty,
You
more
don't.
palpable?
Don't.
It's tasteless.
I had an employee. She left, and she left because she said that it was too boring for her. And she was about to do things more smarter things, and say, if you don't do this,
Okay.
I cannot put you to do the nice things, so you have to start from the beginning. And also accounting.
You have to know. Yeah.
Exactly. Accounting is repetitive.
Yeah.
It's always the same. It's always the same.
It's like brushing our teeth or taking showers or eating. Like, we have to do it every day.
It's not because you want. You have to.
You have to. You
So-
must.
You must.
To clean yourself, you must.
Exactly. But in accounting, the good thing is every month is something different. All the time you have a different situation with a client. The routine is the same. But the
What's the
challenge.
toughest situation that it's like maybe you have to explain to a client or something that
I had.
I'm sure
Which
you
ones?
had some.
I had a very nice client. I love them. They're very, very good. It's a couple. And they are into gym. This lady, I realize, because they're so nice and they do everything by the book. When I did the first year, I did a Form 11. I say, okay, you have a nice turnover. That's fine. Here is your income tax and your preliminary. She said, yeah, okay, cool. She paid. But it was November. And when I saw the amount, I said, listen, now you have to register yourself for VAT. Oh, that's fine. We can register. She registered. Following year, in January or February, I asked all the numbers for myself to prepare. And in April, I got the numbers and I start crying. I spent like 1 week trying to digest because she was with X and now she had 3X as profit. So it was something like huge. She's gonna have to pull her pants and this kind of things,
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, no.
Germs.
And it took like a week for me to call them and say, hi. So I need to tell you something. And 1 week before they came to me and they didn't want to move for a limited company, which is okay. So I say, I'm not giving you a choice now. You're moving to a limited company and you have to pay your life now to revenue.
That's very tough.
It's very tough because I know that they're doing everything they could and they're not pretending anything, like they're not hiding something. And I say, if I were you, I would also come to revenue and do a qualifying disclosure and pay the VAT for them separate. Because if we do that, you're going to pay less income tax. So I did everything, like all the calculation, they agreed. But it's just a situation where like sometimes they don't want to pay. They are paying me monthly, but they are doing everything on their own.
Yeah.
So I just prefer to centralize on myself and my team for us to take care. And of course, if you have VAT, we're going to take care like closer. It's not that we're not looking at you, but when you have VAT, you have like for us, we prefer to do every 2 months. There are many ways to do. I can pay a fixed price, not doing anything. And in January, I just review everything and okay, let's pay the difference. But if you start growing faster and you have to pay more. So I'm afraid this happened to my clients. So there's why I prefer to do every 2 months.
And to be honest, I've heard there is something that people actually do sometimes because it's so expensive for you to pay taxes when you reach, I don't know, over a year or something. And then people declare that they're broke and they open a different company. Like I'm not saying this is correct. This is very tricky, but is this common? And why do people do that? Why do taxes?
2 year.
I think there's some, I don't know,
Which
but
is the 2 year?
I don't know if it's 2 year or 1 year, but they told me that once you reach some,
no,
Before
the
2
VAT
years.
threshold.
Yeah, it might be that.
It's not related to, no. VAT threshold is related to revenue. So once you reach 40K, now 44, you have to be registered for VAT. Okay, that's it. It's mandatory. If you sell services, if you sell goods, it's like 88 now. Some people, they reach me out for that and ask, oh, can I open another company? No. I don't open.
that's probably the thing. That's probably what it is.
I don't open another
She's
thing.
not that type of
No.
professional. No, but it happens.
Not with me.
Not with you, but it happens.
I don't
But
think...
you heard of it, of course, yeah.
I heard once, to be honest. It was one of my clients asking me what's my opinion on that. And I say, if you want, that's fine. You go for another accountant. They can do this for you. I'm not doing.
The door is over there.
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean,
Like, I can't do it. I don't think it's correct.
Yeah.
I see, for example, in Brazil, you have some people having 10 simplest companies, and that's fine. But in Ireland, this doesn't look good. Doesn't.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So who told me was a friend that she said, I have this company for over 8 years now, or over 7, 9, I don't know. And then she told me that people sometimes change the name of the companies for reasons that are related to how much they're going to pay for the government.
No, that's stupid because I'm just giving an overview. You're going to pay to shut down your company. Then you're going to pay to set up another company. And then you have to do all the... No, too much hassle.
Doesn't make sense. Okay.
No, and then you have to set up all the direct debits again. You have to have another...
Yeah, it's a shit. She told me it's a shit.
Yeah.
But people still prefer to do.
I don't deal with people...
Money-wise, you know, I think.
It doesn't think it's smart.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel smart because, like, when you have a solo trader and you incorporate through a limited company, you don't make it 0. And now you don't pay VAT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As soon as you open your limited company, if you're a solo trader, you are over the threshold, you're going to open a limited company with VAT. That's it. That's the way it works. And I have some clients, they don't want to do that. I'm not pressuring the small ones when they started, but now I don't give them any kind of choice. Say, you're going to open and you're going to do the VAT. Yeah. If you don't want to go to do this, that's fine. Find another accountant. I can't help you on that because you're incorporating your solo trader through a limited company. Yeah. And I came to revenue and I explained the situation. I say, yes, they have to register for VAT.
But do you think this is a way to filter who is really ready to run a business or not? Because running a business, as you said, like, okay, I can do that. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I can do that. And then you deliver the result. Because this is something that it took me more than 3 decades of my life to learn, you know.
It's not everyone that's able to run a business. Some people, they're born to be employees.
And you know how to deal with that? Like, do you filter that or just let it go? Like, life is gonna filter it away?
No, sometimes no. I filter. I think it's important to ensure that people, like, they're doing the right thing and they're not making a mess in the future.
Yeah.
It's just very hard because some people, they want to have their own business, but they have no talent for that. So you have to change it.
Money, like making loads of money, it's a problem because you have to pay taxes. You have to know how to handle the money.
But some people
you have
actually
to reinvest. It's a huge problem. You have to find professionals to take care of that money. So
I have a client with this problem. She decided to spend a lot. And I say, you don't have to spend a lot. You just have to put in your pension plan. And this is something we don't think about it. I think about my future. And if I could, I will be retired in 10 years. That's my plan. That's my goal. And I'm trying. I don't know if I'm going to reach out, but I'm trying to do this.
You're following the plan.
I'm following my plan. But when I came to my clients, I say, put the cash in the pension plan. They say, are you out of your mind? Why? Why I'm going to get the cash when I'm 55, 60? I say, it's better do that rather than pay for the government.
I think that's more related to that. Like, people sometimes they're not supposed to be business owners because it's not that they can't make money. They actually can make a lot of money, but they wasted. I'm not going to say they spend. I'm going to say they probably wasted with the same easy level of, that they make it. So I think it's kind of like it's how they were instructed to deal with the cash itself.
And there is another thing, is the mindset that we have in Brazil.
Yeah, that's
jeitinho.
Jeitinho
is something that they want. For example, in Brazil,
they do that in our colonizers and people that moved there. So Italy, Spain, Portugal.
By the way, Portugal, where is our gold?
Bring back my gold. I want my gold.
You wasted all
Where's my
the gold. Come on,
Bota Inxalá, Santiago.
No, but what I would say is they don't have the experience in Ireland, and they think that is the same in Brazil. So they came with that mindset, and they think here is gonna work.
Yeah. Well, the country already existed before our country was colonized. Yeah. They already have everything in place and tested.
They were wearing clothes.
They were way before us.
I mean, we weren't there. We were part Spanish, European.
But our ancestors, I mean, not necessarily from blood, but our Earth's ancestors, you know.
But Brazilians think that they're smarter. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because when I'm talking with a client, and they're, of course, I'm Brazilian and I'm proud to be Brazilian. And I'm very happy to help people who want to grow. Yeah. But when they are doing this kind of things, I'm just like, guys, are you really want to go from this path? Yeah. Because I don't want to follow you.
I mean, you're offering a better opportunity. Like, you're not in Brazil anymore. You're playing another game, and this game can be better played.
Life change.
Really? Yeah.
It's life change. Like this business that I mentioned that I think is money laundering.
Yeah.
I came across this business. He wasn't my client anymore. And I just walk on the streets and I saw the business open in a Monday after 8 p.m. And I thought it was very weird. Yeah. I said, this is not a business to be open at this time, you know. Yeah. So I just look and say, I'm so lucky to not have them as my clients anymore, you know, because
it's not your problem.
It's not my problem, but could be my problem because if I'm the accountant, it's my problem.
Of course.
Imagine you bringing this image to like the other clients you have, you know, like, oh, you're linked to that business.
Yes.
Are you sure? Like, you know.
Exactly. So I try to avoid that.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, people know things. So they're going to know that if you are the accountant for them or not. So
they know.
People they know.
But I've learned that here, like, that we have to pay the taxes. We have to follow the rules. You have to find... Because following the rules here, sometimes, depending on the situation, your status, your visa, you can't just open a business here as a student. And students do it anyways, and very few of them succeed because They find a way to stay here legally, to pay their taxes.
But
So
even when
it's
they are
crazy, man.
students and they receive cash, they have to declare. I have a few guys that they didn't have the visa, but there's two different things: visa and the business.
The sheriff, man.
I had
Sheriff, man.
I had a student that have to explain why he had 70K in his bank account.
What?
So
Where
what? Seven what?
70K
70K.
in his bank account, where he got only 15 in his PIYE.
Shit, that's a
Wow.
huge difference to explain. I would like him to explain to me so I could do the same.
He has to go back to the classroom to do some maths.
Yeah,
He's
man,
paying
that's a-
35K to revenue now, and he's not my client anymore.
Yeah, it happens. Like, we never know. Like, the same way as I found an accountant, I was there. Okay, just pay. Like, it's cheap. I barely do things. I need to keep in, like, like, and it generated me a problem because I didn't check. I didn't know what to look for a good professional, which is really important.
It's important. I think if you come to me and say, Bia, do you have an advice now for people who are watching us? Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay, thanks.
Of course, if you want to reach us out, that's fine. We'll be here to help as simply as tax. But if you want to know who is a good accountant and you're not sure, check if they have a website. I don't have yet, but I have an Instagram. I have a LinkedIn. You can check my name under my board of accountant. Check if the person is an accountant, because there's so many people pretend that they're accountants and they're not. Mm-hmm. There's some very serious people doing their job. And when something happened, like the other consultant, I don't want to say the name because I don't want to have a sue. She claimed that she wasn't only a business person, not an accountant. That's not right, because all their clients thought that she was an accountant and they trust them. So try to find if the person is registered. Try to find if the person is has a good reputation. Check on Google reviews.
Talk to your clients.
I have the Google reviews. You can go there, check the names.
Talk to people.
Talk to people. Yeah. I'm trying to put all my partners and all my clients on the website. If your name is not there, let me know.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Especially because of your network thing. So if someone wants to reach out, I need someone that bakes cakes. And it's,
I might have 2, 3, or 4. I need someone who do macarons. I have
nice.
one.
You have options there, even better.
Yes. I have people who do like visa and also citizenship. I have 4 or 5. I have a partner and I have 4 or 5 companies that are with me.
Yeah.
So you can choose one.
I know this is not exactly your area because you work with, completely different stuff back in Brazil. But I don't know, maybe you have the knowledge, maybe you don't. Maybe you talk to people. Maybe you can tell me, or maybe not.
Okay.
Being an accountant in Ireland, I'm assuming it's quite different because of the laws that you have in Brazil, right? So people sometimes come here. Let's say they have actually worked as an accountant back there. I don't know if you would know that much, but they probably have to study some other stuff here, right?
Yeah, we have to study. Even though you're an accountant, you have to study.
Especially the VAT thing, this crazy shit.
Everything, because in Brazil, you earn loads of money if you are a tax person in accounting, because accounting is all divided, right? And we have ICMS, we have ISS, you have PIS, COFINS, they're completely different. And here we have only VAT. So here is very straightforward, but you have to study again.
But coming back here to our questions, we are actually talking a lot about solo traders, a bit of limited, which is quite interesting. And we're going to get there in the next episode that we shoot with you, because you're probably definitely going to be invited again. I'm not sure if you're going to be willing to come. No.
She doesn't have to want to.
But what about the citizenship? You do different ones and you assist people? How does it work?
So I started with just giving you 2 minutes, not more than this. When I was 5, I found out that I was Italian. Like my family, they have Italian heritage. So I start researching about it, start reading about it. And when I was 12, 13, I came to Italian embassy.
On your own?
On my own.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And it was in front of my English school. So I just crossed the street and I came there.
Come on,
And then
just
they
hand
say,
it, it's okay.
what are you doing here? You know?
Hey, what they doing? Yes,
So no,
What are you
doing here?
Porca di-
No,
okay,
and then I start researching. She gave me the patronato thing.
I would break a pasta in front of them. That's why I came
Don't
here.
do that. You cannot break pastas around. You know?
You're gonna lose your
If you're
passport.
12, I would. My
You're gonna
personality.
sleep with the fish. You cannot.
My husband used to work with the guy, Italian guy, and I want to say that because it's very fun.
Go.
They say, "Bastardi, eat pollen pasta, Marini, pollen pasta, tutti bastardi."
Oh, bastards.
That's fun. So
So
when
you're
I
a
start-
savage kid.
Yes.
You cross the street to go to the embassy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And they make me get rid of embassy like in 2 minutes,
you got all
right?
information there.
No, I got the patronato numbers and I start calling them and I understand. So I make all my family tree. When I was 15 and we had the internet, I started researching and I met Sandra Bergantini, which is one of the best researchers. And by that time she found my Italian, she said that I will never get my documents.
What?
It was in 2000. Okay, this was in 2000.
Balde
We
de
didn't
água
have internet,
fria.
okay? We didn't have like influencers talking about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, exactly. But anyway, she gave me this information. I was sad, but I keep researching. I did all my family tree. There was just this document missing. I hired a company, was very famous, but I don't make an advertise for free for them. I hired them. They said me it was 300 euro for the document and they're going to research. It took 2 years. So 2007, 8, 9. They call me in 2009 and say, no, they send an email to someone who worked with me and say that they found the document. So he sent me this email. I moved for another company. He said, oh, Bia, remember the company? So they found your document. And I was like, oh,
Jeez.
really? 2009. So... long story short, I got all the documents, but when I came to Ireland first time in 2010, I came just to pay for this document and they charged me 500 euros by the time. I got my document. At that stage, I wasn't able to do the documents. I have to wait until 2018 because was my appointment to legalize all the documents in the embassy in Brazil. We don't have this anymore. We have AIA.
Okay, because it's a little fucked up to be
Yeah.
waiting like years.
I just went back
She's
to...
legalized.
I'm legalized. Or so
No,
they
I
say.
have to move back to Brazil, right? So the Italian citizenships came with me with that. And when I was doing my process in 2015, the guy who was doing the process for me in Italy, he came to me and said, Bia, you know all the rules, you know how it works. I have a client for you. I say, I don't want a client. But he was stolen. So someone took his money and he was
What?
arrested for Polícia Federal in Brazil. So, and he was
After people stealing from him.
yeah, and he was a cardiologist and Einstein. So he was a very
Yeah.
wealthy
Very,
person.
yeah.
Einstein is one of the greatest hospitals in
If
Sao
not the
Paulo.
greatest one, like it's very.
If not the greatest,
politicians,
yeah.
the CEOs,
It is.
whatever they.
I
all
was
go
born there, guys.
Oh.
My dad said that no, it was a situation where my mom, she break her water and she has to go to the
Immediately.
and the doctor, he wasn't an Einstein. He didn't have time for him to move from her hospital. So they went there and I was
it has
born
to be
there,
there.
and just like, she was changed in
You
the...
were born rich, woman.
Yeah.
My dad said, if she wasn't taken from the room, I would say that she's a Goldstein. I'm pretty sure she's a Goldstein
Yeah.
because we didn't have money to have her there. And
Yeah.
she was born there, so she's a
Maybe
Salini,
Jewish
you know.
ancestry, I don't know.
So yeah, that is why I came. So I got this doctor. He was with a check and say, I'm gonna pay you, and say, I don't want your money. Wait, I say, this is my price. You have no idea how to charge people. This is my price. And all the documents, everything that I need, you're gonna pay me up front. Once I finish your documents, your process, you pay me this. I said, yeah, okay, cool. So I did his process. By the end, he came here to Ireland to have a pint with me.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
What a reward, huh?
Yeah, it was very nice. So I started with this in 2015. And I start with Doctor. I call him Doctor. It was my first client. I wasn't really thinking about it. But after that, 2 months after that, I got fired from my job. Everyone was fired, 60% of the company. It was recession. I've paid my Italian citizenship. I say, do you know what? I'm going to do my citizenship. And that's it. But then people start reaching me out for the documents. I say, okay, cool. It's not something that I'm going to do like in a huge scale. It's just, let's do one and another. So usually I do like 15, between 10 and 20 per year. It's been 10 years. So yeah, it's a lot. Like this Christmas, I did 6.
I gave you my heart.
It's
last Christmas.
No, it was very nice. So I started with this. I have now Portuguese. I started with Spanish, but I have a huge headache because the person that said, I'm going to hire this person. And she said, no, I want to teach you. And she vanished. So she put me in a very bad situation.
It sounds like you had some good experiences on how you can't be, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I decided to not go for more than I can do. So Italian is with me. I'm specialized. Portuguese, I have a very good and reliable partner. So we go with her. I have a good one for Polish. He takes longer to answer, but he's brilliant. And I saw his job.
Yeah, Polish is tricky.
I know.
It's a tricky one, yeah.
It's a tricky one. And German, I have a client.
Okay.
She does the German, so I give to her. And so the Spanish, now I have another partner. So everything I can't do, I have a partner that can help. But my specialization is in Italian. I have Portuguese, which is kind of tricky. Please, guys, don't go for Sephardite. There is no Sephardite.
Sephardite is the
Jewish one. No, forget about Sephardite.
No.
It's gone. For the last 2 years, gone. Forget it. It's just people trying to get money from you.
It was going to stop or something, but I never knew when.
It's just to get money from you. So they said, you have a Jewish in your family.
Okay, so they weren't like content with the gold. Now they want the citizenship.
Well, I have to...
Heavy.
No, that's very tricky because Brazilians were very smart. So we do some counterfeit, right, of documents.
I don't know in English.
I don't know exactly, but people will get the meaning. So they just fake documents.
Okay,
in Italy.
Oh man, you know what? I've met people that told me that this and that people, they actually have fake, not just the IDs. Which were
they
papers.
fake the documents.
Passports.
They fake everything.
What the fuck?
Driving license.
They fake other things. They fake birth certificates.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They
Come on,
fake
what do you
birth
expect from people? They fake orgasms, you know?
Oh well, but that's we have to.
We have to.
We have to.
We have to. Let's face it, guys.
This is for another episode, but yeah.
No, but it's very hard.
Come on.
There's like
it's basically faking your ID. It's faking your ID.
There is why they're moving around and changing. So since I started working with citizenships, everything has changed, and every time they're changing other rules and they're asking for more information and confirmation. For example, I did a process now, and I did all the administrative process to rectify the documents. But then the Comune is asking for the proof that I've done that.
Okay.
There is no proof, but they want. And I told the client, say, listen, it's not that I don't want to give it to you. You have to reach out the Comune, the notary, and ask them because it's gonna take so longer for us to get the document to legalize, and to legalize I have to get the signature and it must be stamped and everything like certified. It's been a nightmare because they don't trust the documents were rectified. Of course not. No, because people are changing things. Yeah. In her case, I know everything is correct because there was something in the birth certificate saying that he was Brazilian, but actually he was Italian. But he didn't. He was very young when he went to Brazil, so they just did another birth certificate. But I found his Italian certificate.
Okay, the original one,
the original one. Yeah, the first.
Yeah, that's good.
So we need to.
That's quite an exception, huh?
And there are some exceptions. Yeah. No, she was right. Like when I got the documents, I take care of reviewing them and ensure that they are right. Okay. I had some cases that they came with fake documents for me and I say, I'm not taking it.
So you do have a way to figure it out.
Yeah. When you have experience on that, you know.
You spot it.
Yeah. I know, for example, the regions in Brazil that they don't have Italians.
Of course, okay.
But we know.
But it can't mean it's impossible.
No, you have to. When you read it,
impossible.
It's not impossible. When you read the document,
never impossible if you believe in it. No,
Tudo pode ser, basta acreditar.
When you read, like the ladies who work with me, they sometimes got impressed because I look and say, "This is wrong," and I say, "But you haven't finished." I say, "It's wrong." Find the issue and come to me. Because when I'm reading, I know where to get the wrong places.
I suppose, yeah.
And also, if I see someone doing like a correction and the correction is wrong, I'm not taking that. Okay. That's.
But could you fix a document like that?
Yeah, you can fix.
Okay.
You cannot. Let's go.
By the way, do you see like an increase of requests for citizenship lately? Because dollar in Brazil, like it's 7 reais.
Yes, it's about.
It's more. I don't know. It's.
I think it's a combination because in the past, no one was really aware that the European citizenship could help you, and now we have the Latin America diaspora. I don't know if you have heard about it, but everywhere, like. Chile, Argentinian, Brazilians, they're all coming over. Some Bolivians and Peruvians are going to Brazil, but if they have a Spanish heritage, they're going to Spain. They're all trying to move around. They don't want to stay in their country. The same with Brazilians. So if you think about the colonization in the past, people went to US and went to London. Around 2002, 2005, they stopped going to London because they start closing the frontiers, and they start looking for a place that speaks English. And this place would be Ireland. If you think about Ireland open from 2005, 8, 10.
Yeah, Ireland is the second choice, but we like it.
No, it's a second choice. It's a second choice.
I have some acquaintances here, some friends, and they're actually Spanish speakers, and they're from South America, and they came here because of obviously they have heritage from Spain, and of course it's easier.
It's easier, and there's what I'm saying. So now people. See, I'm not talking only about politics, but other issues that we have in our country and in all Latin America. And they see that and they are trying to find a way to move. There's why you see this increase, because 20 years ago, people, they didn't have money to do a process. I remember there was one solicitor, a lawyer in Italy, what was Luigi Paiani. He was the only one who was doing Italian citizenships, the mother side, if I can say.
Judicial, I don't know.
Giudiziale, sì.
Giudiziale, sì. This is the one I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have another question. Like,
yes.
You remember I spoke about my previous accountant and then I have to replace it. Let's say Santiago is very lucky and he wants to change whoever is taking care of his citizenship
Okay.
situation. Would you do that? Would you take over the
I
case?
would, but we need to first understand how is your process. So we
How fucked up is it?
no,
how
in which
fucked
no, it's more like in which stage, because as a professional, I don't want to take over a process that's already started. But if this is not in Italy yet, if it's only in Brazil, then I can take over.
Okay.
But you must read your contract to see if there is anything, because I usually do 2 separate contracts. One for Brazilian part, the process, and then the judiciale, because we never know when they're going to change the laws. Do you know now they change it, right?
They keep on changing all the
No,
time.
no, they change for in your pocket.
Oh, really?
You're fucked up. Yeah. From 1st of January
Get ready,
2025.
brace yourselves.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I heard about
Now
an
they're gonna
extra
charge
€1,000 or something.
1,000?
Not on my ass.
No.
You
How many
figure
people
out.
are going to do your citizenship in your process?
Around 5.
5. Okay, 5. Apart from the cash you're gonna pay for the process, you're gonna pay also 600 multiplied by 5. So more 3,000 euros, because the 600 is the contributo, and now everyone that's doing the citizenship has to pay 600 euro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Per la famiglia.
Sì.
Tutti per la famiglia.
So I was working on 27 and
good.
28, putting the deposits of the processes with my solicitor in Italy, because we want to avoid that. For all the process that we're able to avoid, we did.
Yeah, is it still possible to do it on your own, like in
No.
the past? Because I remember
No,
in the past it was, but nowadays,
When
no.
you go to court,
Oh, yeah.
you cannot do on your own.
Yeah.
You must have a solicitor. If you're talking about administrative and you go to a commune and do your process, you can take your chance.
Yeah.
Take your chance.
No,
Be
you
lucky.
can do on your own.
Some people have things very easily. Some people do have, like, let's say,
Do you
like,
just
speak
like-
Yeah, but do you speak Italian?
no, it's not. I'm just saying. I have actually friends that they have had, they had all the documents and they actually moved there and they managed to do things on their own, but it was a different timing as well.
Yeah. How
I-
tricky is it nowadays?
I went in 2016 and I paid someone to do that.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me. It was very hard even paying someone.
Yeah.
That was my experience. I know from other people that was hard as well.
I'm not saying it was easy.
No, it was very few.
What I've heard, it was
very
tough.
few people that did on their own and was successful. I'm not saying that you cannot do that. You can, but which commune are you doing?
No, it's a
How
fucking
is your
headache. You don't
Italian?
want that. That's
No,
Exactly.
But with a bit of luck, you can do it. But it's
like,
easier like to
it's not
save time,
impossible.
No,
So,
the
yeah.
But
stress
it's
you're
tough.
passing, because there's 2 different things: renting a place and having residency.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you rent a place, you just rent a place. When you have I don't know the name in Italian, right? Residencia. So you become resident of the place. You have to pay something for the Guarda Finanza. And then like your rent will increase from 2,000 to 4,000. So it was better if you pay someone to do the process for you.
But then also you gotta pay the pizza. The pizza.
But now all the process, the administrative ones, they're going to increase the taxes, because before you pay the taxes, but you didn't know because you're doing with someone accessoring you, and now they're going to increase with these taxes. So it's very tricky. It's very hard. I'm not saying you can't do, you can, but I wouldn't advise, even though I have all the knowledge, I hire someone to do for me.
Yes.
It's easy to fuck up in the middle of the way.
Yes. But
Some
also,
people are actually lucky. But
but let's
it's
be
easy to
realistic.
fuck up.
Do you have time to study? Do you have time to follow
No,
everything?
man, it's
I
not my
don't.
case.
It's
No.
easy to pay. Like,
It's
come on.
fucked up.
sometimes, but I have clients like this client who has the issue. She could avoid this issue going with the person who works with me. I have a partnership in Italy and she does this, but she said, no, I want to save like 1,500. Okay. She's having a headache and I'm sorry for her, but I don't give advice after you do the process with me, then it's with you.
Yeah.
Up to you.
But I mean,
That's
if
the process.
someone
That's
at
it.
that point, they reach out to you and they say, look, I'm thinking of doing something very crazy. Would you respond to them? Or would you say,
That's your problem.
I'm sorry, this is your problem?
That's your problem.
But what if they ask you for advice? Should I do that or there's nothing you can...
I wouldn't.
There's not the service.
No, there's no service, and I don't advise.
Okay.
I don't advise. I say, listen, I wouldn't advise you to do that. If you want
And
to,
that's it. But that's the point. Would you, if they come to you and ask you, should I do that or
No.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
No.
already a good advice. That's what I'm
I
saying.
have friends that they spent 60 days in a comune, and this comune came to him and say, I'm not doing your process. I'm not doing your process.
Oh, my ass, fuck off.
They have to move, and they went to, I think his aunt was living in one city, a small city. She was a nun there.
A nun?
A nun. Yeah. Very religious. And the reason why he got his citizenship, because she was a religious in that city, so he went there and then he got the citizenship. But prior, he tried to do on his own, and it was a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
There's what I'm saying. It's not that Bia, she's getting money from that. No, I had a client, she went with another consultant, and that's fine. She got screwed. She called my previous partner and she went with her. And that's fine.
Yeah.
The important thing is you get your documentation
Get what
right.
you want.
It would be a nightmare if I tell you, everything is gonna be perfect. No, it was. It would be a nightmare. You're gonna lose your head. You're gonna be angry.
You're gonna lose your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not like you.
But isn't
Sometimes.
that life?
Sometimes, come on, let's be realistic here.
No, because it's
Santiago, don't worry. If you lost it, you're gonna find it eventually.
Yeah.
It's too much
Will it?
stress.
Yes.
It's too indie over here.
There is in
You think I'm gonna
Turkey.
find it?
They sell it. Maybe yours is there.
Mine, you can buy. Mine is bought. I bought mine.
See?
I'm gonna buy mine then.
Well,
Turkey,
mine
wait
too.
for me.
Well, so I wouldn't advise to go on your own, but I would say to you that many people try to do this to pay less.
I mean, if you have nothing to lose and it's just an adventure, go for it.
Go.
for it, yeah.
Like you're free to go.
Yeah. I mean,
But don't come to me later. Because you
ask
come
you
to me.
fix it
No,
because things.
you ask me to fix it, but you don't want to pay.
Yeah, I mean, no. There is a price for things.
Yeah, but people don't want to pay. They ask me to fix, but they don't want to pay. I have someone once. She was there for 1 year, and she didn't get the citizenship. And the official on Comune said that
There's a little bit too much, isn't it?
no, they do that. They do that.
You don't know Italy. You don't know the real life.
No.
in Italy.
I know.
Italy,
I've
they
never
do
needed to be doing those stuff.
They do whatever they want. There is it's a nowhere.
Yeah. Bia,
My
there's
father
a
got
book
his-
over there. You see Cosa Nostra.
Cosa Nostra.
Right behind your
It's
head.
actually hidden.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Yeah, behind the handcuffs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I've learned loads
The
of
middle
things.
one.
Yeah, I've learned loads of things on that book, like how the Italian society operates. It's something that is from the past, man.
No,
Like,
yes,
you
definitely.
can't change that easy, you know. Like,
And they yell a lot. Sometimes you think that they're angry with you and they're not, but they're yelling.
Oh,
and they're
yes.
like,
hey, malauda, hey,
it's terrible. It's horrible. They
don't
woke
break
me
the
up.
pasta.
They woke me up at 7:30. They're yelling at each other like general.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I really like, sometimes I say, I'm gonna give up, like I have the accounting things, but I do that because I love, it's not only about the money. It's nice to have the money.
You're a slave of it, from it. Like you love it. You're gonna keep
love
doing
to
it.
work with that.
How
you
many
know?
lives you made possible to like change? Let's say
How
they
many?
change like country, they change lives, they made
That's
something
amazing.
better.
I have so many clients that their life changed because of that.
Yeah.
And this is the best reward. Like, it's not about only the money. It's about changing
People.
the life. It's a purpose.
People, yeah.
It's the same thing with accounting. I'm not doing that only because I'm going to get, I think when I stop following the money and I start following what I want, the money comes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have an observation now. You're a numbers person.
Yeah.
But you're actually a people's person because you do it because not because of the numbers, but you do it for people.
Yes.
You do love people deep inside.
How do you consider that? Like one foot here on the numbers and the other on the.
No, she gets on easily with the numbers, but she does the numbers because of the love for people.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
And that's I think that's my differential. I had a manager once. He is a mentor nowadays, Vasco. And he used to say that I'm the most financial commercial person he ever met.
Yeah, you seem too much like a people person. But of course, you get on with the numbers. So it's good. Because people usually hate the numbers. So.
I've learned loads in this interview. Like, it's not...
Me too.
But you gotta be responsible. You gotta position yourself as an adult. You cannot be a child anymore. So
don't say that.
But if the accountant, like, you gotta face the accountancy life, you know.
You have to talk to me once a year. You can avoid me, but once a year you have to talk to me.
I'll be there for you.
I have no choice. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Is there anything that we have not asked you and you think it would be good to say?
No, I think you have asked a lot. You talk a lot, guys.
We do. I'm sorry.
But I mean, if we missed something, like something we could ask, I mean, people can just
definitely
leave a comment, or they can
leave a comment and then
page. Yeah.
What?
Do you have a page?
Yeah, I have an Instagram. I have Fatto Per Voi, and I have Simply
Santiago from the future.
Please.
By the way, Santiago from the future is really handsome, right?
He's really handsome. He's hot.
He has
You're gonna see him. No, he's actually very like a mix of Bruce Willis with Jason Statham look.
With the other guy, like The Rock. Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock is amazing.
Yeah.
The Rock. Yes.
So he's gonna fix those stuff. So
it's gonna be right. Yeah. Oh, guys, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. It was
really
an amazing
good,
presence today.
To be honest with you, I didn't expect much because the subject is kind of boring. Maybe to us, not anymore.
No, it can be fun.
I like to give a surprise to people. I have a friend. She's an actress, and when we met, my friend said, "Oh, she's my friend Bia. She's an accountant." She's like, "Oh, she's boring."
You know what? One of my best friends, she's an accountant in Brazil, and she is a business owner here, and I don't know how she does. Of course, she has some knowledge and stuff, but she is as fun as fuck, and you're gonna meet her.
She's boring as well.
No, because you have the same profile.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, a little bit. I think you
can introduce us.
Yes, I will.
Maybe
that's my network shit, you know?
Yeah.
I love introducing amazing people that would fit. And people just get, how the fuck, Mara? Stop. No, you're going to meet each other and you're going to love to meet each other.
Amazing. Love
nice
it.
stuff,
Thank you so much, guys, for the invitation.
Thank you very much. It was awesome. By the way, guys, follow us, follow her, and comment whatever you fucking like. Let's engage this shit. Come on, let's put it up.
Be less lazy, man.
Less lazy, a little. It's just a like. Send a like.
Use your finger, not like me.
Yeah, I mean,
she was liking too
show
much.
it again, please.
It was a dog. It was a dog bite.
We're not gonna ask where you put your finger. I'm sorry. That
was a dog bite.
Okay, she said so. She said she has proof. I'm not gonna ask the proof because she's probably.
It's better not to see, right?
Thank you very much, guys, again, and see you soon, right?
Yeah, we don't have to stop. See you soon. Yeah.
See you soon. Gosto por cima, cara na cara. Como é que é o nome? Não gosto por cima, cara na cara.
Não gosto por cima, cara na cara.
You don't have a toilet when you work.
So I pee outdoors. And it's windy over here. You're talking about like if you
You
spit,
take a shit
it comes
in the
back to
middle
you.
of the...
Yeah.
If you pee, it might come back to you. You gotta
Disgusting.
Só que eu fiquei perdida agora. Deu um brain fart.
brain fart.
Deu um brain fart.
You can do it.
We can do it. Okay.
Fart the shit out of your brain.